Hello, it's time for another teacher tip. I'm in my car as usual. So today I wanted to talk with you just a little bit about, as a teacher or as a performer of belly dance, being a good choreographer. So this is a fun one to talk about. A lot of times as dancers and as instructors or performers, we are expected to wear many hats, and one of them is choreographer. We're one of the very few art forms where we typically don't have a whole team to do a lot of the things for us. In ballet and other forms, they have an official seamstress. They have, a choreographer, and all of these are different people. Anyway, in belly dance, a lot of times we have to choreograph. And of course, choreographing for a group versus a solo, completely different. But I'm not here today to talk about that per se. I'm here to talk about the choreographic process, if you will. And I always love hearing about other people's processes. So, everybody's different, right? That's a first given. But the choreographic process for me is kind of a constant thing. So maybe I find a song that I like, or maybe I'm looking for a certain folkloric style or prop or mood that I want to convey. And so a lot of times I find the music first. It kind of starts with an idea, and then I kind of do a little research to find music that suits that. Sometimes it's the complete opposite and flip-flopped around, where maybe you have moves and whatnot and the music comes later, or you discover the music first. It really is a kind of fluid process. But going back to the constantness of it, I find personally I choreograph best sometimes when I'm multitasking or doing other things, which I know may be different for other people. So what I mean by that is I might be driving in my car, especially when I'm doing a long road trip, and I might listen to a song I really like multiple times, and something will happen. A little idea will pop up into my mind of a solo or a group number that I want to do. For this purpose, and this is a tip that I like to share, I'd love to hear what your hacks and tips are. I keep a voice recorder in my phone so that if I have a moment where something comes to mind, I will record it immediately. And I can do that hands-free while I'm driving so that later I can go back through my notes. So that's one way I kind of choreograph. Choreography for me is definitely a process. I'm not blessed like some with, you go to sleep and you wake up and an entire choreography has created itself in your mind. It doesn't work that way whatsoever for me. So depending on if I'm choreographing for myself or a group, my choreography can look very different, and it can evolve over time. Something people don't realize in choreography is it really is a living, fluid thing that can change over time. It can change with the amount of dancers you have, with the physical abilities of the dancers that you have. There's just a ton of factors. So as a choreographer, you really need to be very mindful of all of these different layers and levels that happen. Also, for aspiring choreographers and people like that, I would definitely encourage you to, yes, of course, listen to your music, but also start dissecting your song structure. Let's take Arabic pop, for example. I choreograph a lot to Arabic pop, and it's actually, I believe, a lot easier than some other forms of Minot music. So in Arabic pop, a lot of times you have a very set song structure where you might have, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, something along those lines. Really learn to break down your song into chunks so that you can know kind of, little bits and pieces of the song. You can kind of dissect it. Something that took me way too long to learn as a choreographer is repetition is your friend. So what does that mean? If you have a cute combo that you do to the chorus, you can repeat it. So no one really taught me that. And as a baby choreographer, I really thought you had to just have every trick in the book, and this is not true in your choreography. Repetition is actually soothing to the eyes and the brain of both the dancer and the observer. So don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel at every single bar. So lastly, one thing I will say, and it's just I'm not really looking for sympathy per se, but as a choreographer, going back to group work and choreographing for the specific group you have, you really need to be mindful of if all your dancers will be there. What I mean by that is, like, for example, in troupe work, sometimes I have choreographed pieces where maybe I have each person doing a cute little mini solo, or I've choreographed it so there's a big circle or a line change or what have you. Sometimes if you choreograph that for 8 people and only 2 people can make the show, that'll completely change the look of your choreography. So unfortunately, sometimes that is unavoidable, especially in hobbyist dance troupes, which most of us are hobbyist troupes. People are gonna, show up and not. Sometimes things happen. So as a choreographer, you have to think about that. And I've learned that the hard way, let me tell you, where I've choreographed pieces with mini solos or really cool cannons where each dancer gets a certain bar of music, and it just does not work. So I have to reinvent and restructure the whole thing if people are missing. So these are just a few things. They're not made to intimidate you, but they're just made to help you understand the choreographic process. Come with an open mind. Going back to my recording process that I do, I would encourage you to just let the ideas flow, no matter how silly they are or whether you use them or not. Let the ideas flow. Imagine the belly dancer in your mind, and what would she be doing if she had all the skills and all the health and all of that. And then you can kind of tweak it down and bring it back down to reality based on your abilities, the abilities of your dancers, the needs of the community for this piece. So good luck. Let me know your choreographic process in the comments, and I hope you have a beautiful belly dance day. Take care.